I call this meeting to order. Let the record show this is the regular city council meeting being held on January 18th, 2022. All members of council are present. Okay, that's great. And the media has been notified. At this time, everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, please be seated. I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. Chief Crosby has made us aware that some of the officers he was going to recognize tonight are out sick. With that being the case, can I have a motion to table item 1A, special presentation to a future meeting?
Yes, Mayor, members of council, I'd like to make a motion to postpone item 1 on the agenda to a later date, either February or March, when all members can be present.
Second.
I have a motion by Scott and a second by Ryan. Having a motion and a second, I call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Nobody signed up for public comments. So does anybody have anything that they want to say? Okay.
I'll say you're doing a fine job for your first time, Chris.
I appreciate it. Hey, and look, I'm not even sweating. Huh? Okay.
And Joey's working the slideshow from the audience.
That's beautiful.
Like it's a,
We've got some technology going on up here today, I tell you.
And you haven't made a
Synergy.
mistake yet, so
I'm working on it.
when you'll sweat.
I'm working on it.
Synergy.
With that, now I'll call the first person on, well, there's nobody on the list, so we won't call anybody on the list. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Does council have any additions, deletions, or corrections? Hearing none, the minutes stand as approved and submitted. Next item on the agenda is item 4, committee reports, and we'll start with Economic Development Commission. Mr. Matchison.
My report will be real brief. There was no meeting.
Thank you. And now the Planning Commission report from Ms. Susan Britt.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The regular meeting on January 10th of the Planning Commission, they reviewed the minor amendments to the proposed Wendell Woods PDD standards. There were 5 members of the commission in attendance. All 5 were supportive of the minor amendments. They were also, want to note that they were very appreciative of the input from council and the council allowing them to review those once again and provide their input. And the original consensus report is in your packet, but all reached consensus on the major points that had been listed that were originally of concern, that being the trail width and then the townhomes and density in Village C. The Planning Commission reviewed the final draft of the ordinance proposal to amend the zoning code to create a community outreach meetings for all new proposed developments, redevelopments, and major subdivisions. Final draft was accepted without changes by unanimous vote by the Commission and will now go to Council for our public hearing at your meeting in February. Special thanks to Commissioner Michelle Nance, who took the lead on that effort. We received several elements of the work plan the Commission had been doing to determine if there was a change to city ordinance to allow auxiliary dwelling units in the city as appropriate. The work was originally requested by council in the summer of 2021. Significant progress has been made, and an initial draft of an ordinance will be generated in the next few weeks. There are a few points yet to be addressed, and the Planning Commission anticipates that a recommendation to council will be in April. The commissioners' activities, there are no new outside activities to report due to the holidays. The liaisons with Fort Mill School District, the York County Planning Commission, and the Fort Mill Planning Commission will resume in the new year. Next regular meeting will be February 7th at 6:30.
Thank you, Susan.
Thanks, Susan.
Okay. Next on the agenda is item 5. See, there it goes. There it goes, right there. Item 5A, our unfinished business, second reading of an ordinance to annex TMS 654-00-00-026 and rezone from AGC in the county to PDD in the city as part of a 100% annexation petition. Is there any discussion or comments from council on this topic?
I have one. When anticipating that we're going to approve this tonight, can we approve it with the caveat that it's approved with the plat as it's designed? So any changes to that plat can come back to council?
If I can jump in, so the plat has to meet the PDD site standards, which is your zoning text. It gets reviewed by our technical review team, which includes members of staff from Public Works, Stormwater, Utilities, as well as city engineers. It also includes all other public utilities, gas, cable, power, that type thing. And it also has to be accompanied by the TIA. So the preliminary plat can't get approved until the TIA goes through its process as well. So your site plan that accompanies this, that's what they have to follow. The preliminary plat will have to follow that. So your controls, I think to address your concerns, are actually in the zoning text itself.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor and members of council, I'd like to make a motion to approve the second reading of an ordinance to annex TMS 654-00-00-026 and rezone from AGC in the county to PDD in the city as part of a 100% annexation petition.
Second.
Have a first and a second. Having a first and a second, I call the question. All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. It's good work, fellas. Next on the agenda is new business 6A, appointment of administrative judge. In order to provide timely and necessary municipal court services, including the issuance of warrants and conducting of bond hearings, the resolution before us is to appoint our clerk of court to administrative judge. As the administrative judge, she would support our chief municipal judge with these duties. This is the same position Judge Dorado had while also serving as the clerk of court before being appointed as our chief municipal judge. In accordance with state law, city council must appoint judges and set their terms of office. Ms. Stinson's term would be from January 2022 to September 30, 23. Anybody got any discussion on that? No? All right. Hearing no further discussion, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, I'd like to make a motion to approve, the resolution 2022-01 to appoint Erica Stinson as administrative judge.
I have a motion by Scott. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Gus. Having a motion and a second, I will call the question. Of those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item is 6B, a resolution amending the Board of TGK Directors, TGK Public Facilities, Inc. In 2018, under the guidance of the city's bond council, the city did create the TGK Public Facilities, Inc., as it was a necessary step in order to issue installment purchase revenue bonds. As part of the process, the city manager, the finance director, and the municipal clerk, so the board of directors needs to be updated. The resolution provided by our bond counsel accomplishes this. Have any discussion? All right.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, motion to approve the resolution amending the Board of Directors for TGK Public Facilities, Inc.
I have a motion by Ryan. Do I have a second? Second. Have a second by Tom. Having a motion and a second, I call all of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6C, a resolution for student liaisons on committees. We have 3 commissions/boards made up of wonderful volunteers who give a lot of their time. There is a large part of TGK that is missing from those groups that we would like to involve and get input from, and that is our young people. The resolution that is before council tonight provides for student liaison positions for each of those groups, with such students being of high school age. Council, are there any comments or questions?
I'll make one comment.
Discussion? Okay, Tom?
Just a quick comment background on this. Over the course of the last few months, myself and other members of council had received feedback from students as well as their parents about ways for high school students to become more engaged with the city council and civic government. And this was an idea we put forward, and we're hopeful that we will get many TGK high school students to join these committees as liaisons and provide some valuable feedback to us. That's where this came from.
Thank you, Tom. Anyone else? Well, I would like to say, Tom, I appreciate you bringing this up. I think that the kids of this community deserve to be involved in their government. And with those kids, we've got a lot of brilliant minds that could bring in some new blood to all of us, and perhaps some new ideas and new ways of doing things, which I'm all for creativity. Let's don't stifle it, regardless of what age you are. So with no further discussion, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor and Council, I make a motion to approve the resolution creating student liaisons for the Planning Commission, the Economic Development Commission, and the TGK Forever Board.
Second.
I got a first from Tom and a second from Scott. Having a motion and a second, I call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Good work, Tom.
Any exposure we can give our youth to the civic process is going to be great. Excited about that. Nice job.
Next item on the agenda is the city manager report. Mr. Funderburk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Back in June of 2021, I made council aware of an initiative that staff was working on called Service Saturdays. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that we will begin taking nominations the first week of February. Service Saturdays is a community service project that brings city staff, volunteers, local businesses, and civic organizations together to help fellow residents in need. It will provide necessary updates to TGK, in TGK to residential homes and landscaping for those who are unable to complete such projects. Residents can be nominated by individuals or organizations to go through an assessment process and determine eligibility for each project. As I said previously, we're scheduled to launch this on the city website during the first week of February, where nomination forms can be submitted. The first nominee or nominees will be selected in March, with a service date targeted in April, depending on the project scope. I would like to thank Katie Brostovitz and Shannon. Shannon's still here? There she is. Shannon Washington. They've spearheaded this, done a lot of the legwork on it. They've already been talking to Lowe's, Home Depot, several contractors here in the city. So if it's fix a front porch, paint a house, clean out flower beds, that kind of stuff. If you've got a neighbor, whether it be through disability, whether it be through, they're on a fixed income, maybe they're elderly, things like that, start watching the city's website first part of February. We'll have a page dedicated directly for that, a very simple nomination form for you to fill out and send right to us. And we'll go through those. We may have to narrow it down just because of, we can't do everything in one Saturday. But our goal is to hopefully try to do at least one of these a quarter. So we're super excited to get this going. And as we get the nominees coming in, obviously we'll keep council in the loop and have more to report on that as we get into your March meeting. So super excited about that. And big hats off to Katie and Shannon for the legwork that they've put in on this. Much appreciated for sure. While we're giving attaboys, big thank you to our maintenance and public safety personnel who worked around the clock from early Sunday morning through late in the day yesterday with the winter storm. They'll be back at it again, it appears, with more winter weather forecast for Friday afternoon, early evening. I'm really kind of hoping it kind of passes us by. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So they'll be at it. But also want to thank our residents that followed our advice for staying off of the roads. That definitely helped. Still had some folks that decided to sled on TK Drive, and one person thought that taking their motorbike out on Turner Field was a good idea. But for the most part, I think everyone behaved. We appreciate that. That let us focus on getting the roads clear and getting everybody to be able to travel safely. So. Big hats off to our public safety and public works folks. I will be out of the office beginning tomorrow afternoon through Saturday morning for a conference council, but I will be available for via text, email. So don't hesitate to shoot me a text if you need me. I can definitely step out and call you back. But just want to make you aware of that. Our trash and recycle collection should be back on a normal schedule starting next week, and apologies for any inconvenience. But with the landfill closed and icy roads and things like that, it put them short drivers, people being able to get to work, to be able to drive the trucks. But I think they got just about everybody picked up today. We did put out an alert that looked like they may not be able to get to Molokai and Lakeshore areas. If you're listening at home, leave the carts out there. They will be back in the morning to grab those. So we'll at least get all the trash up. So. As a reminder to council, we're going to have a workshop on Saturday, February 12th at 9:30 a.m. I'll be sending you kind of a rough outline either later this week or first of next week on what we hope to accomplish there, along with the location. It will be off-site, but it will be local, like we've done workshops in the past with other councils. Also, as a reminder, the February council meeting is Tuesday the 15th. That will be your regular meeting. That was part of your motion on when you adopted the schedule on January 3rd. So just as a reminder there. We have been, as I've made council somewhat aware, but we have been hit pretty hard with COVID cases over the past few weeks in Public Works, Fire, and PD. I'll be continuing to monitor the situation with department heads, and we'll close the public access to buildings if necessary. Really, it'll just be if we get down to a skeleton staff. We've had to do that before. The good thing is we've provided a lot of electronic City Hall, if you will. A lot of people can do their business without coming into this, physically coming into City Hall. But right now at City Hall, we're in good shape. With every passing day, we get a little bit better in police department. Fire department, I think, is just about full. Got everybody back. PD will soon, and all of our maintenance folks are back now, so that's good. It was a very gut-wrenching day that when we found out, oh, there's only 3 maintenance guys in the entire city. Whoa! So, but really appreciate everybody's efforts that we're able to come in, and everybody's doing fine health-wise. So we just get them back after the protocols, and we'll be in good shape there. And the last thing I've got for you tonight is just a heads up, really more for the public. Youth sports registration is going to be winding down in a couple weeks. The last day to register is February 5th. we're already at capacity in a couple of those age groups. So parents, if you don't want to be the bad guy dealing with a very upset child February 6th, get online and get registered. We are very much looking forward to next fall's registration where we'll have more fields and can accommodate more people. So, and with that, Mayor and Council, that concludes my report unless there's any questions.
Anybody have any questions? I do have a comment for
Sure thing.
that. I want to thank you, Charlie, for getting that together for us for the service Saturdays. That is something that's near and dear to my heart. I appreciate you jumping on that and getting that going. Folks, it goes back to us being TGKans and taking care of each other. Service Saturday is a great way to do that, and I would encourage anybody that can and is willing to do so. You don't need any tools. If you need a tool, ask me. I probably got it. But just come show up, volunteer, and help make TGK that place that all of us know that we help each other and we love each other. So that's all I've got on that. Anybody else got anything? All right. Okay. Item 8, council comments. And we will start with Mr. Ryan Shaw.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. As usual, police, fire, first responders, thank you guys for all you do. It does not go unappreciated. We see you. And city staff, everything you guys were able to do to keep the city safe through Snowmageddon here this past few days. Great job there. Thanks for all you do, guys, and that's all I have.
Mr. Machunas.
I don't have a whole lot this time either. Happy New Year. Congratulations to the three gentlemen to my right. Welcome to the world of getting stuff done. You know, I wasn't going to say that. I would like to echo Ryan's comments. Thanks to city staff, especially being shorthanded for all they do. Anytime we've got snowpocalypse coming, snowpocalypse, it's a nightmare, and we know everybody's going to have to work around the clock to get it done, and y'all got it done, so thank you very much. That's all I got.
Hey, and to echo on Gus, I'm sorry, guys, I'm jumping back in with the Wendell property. You know, Gus was a big proponent of that, and we had several conversations, and thank you guys for listening. You know, initially, 2 months ago, it was this, you know, chaos in here on what's right, what's wrong, what do we do? And we were able to push it to new council. And again, you know, I told the builder, hey, it's a good idea. However, it comes back to this new council. And so thank you for Gus for taking point on a lot of those things. And thank you guys for listening and looking and making I don't want to say a difficult decision, but a decision that wasn't the easiest, so to speak, ensuring that we're asking for the right type of property and the type of production that the city expects. So that's just something I forgot and left out. So wanted to throw that in there, but thanks, guys.
Mr. Shirley.
Yes, sir. Honored to serve, being our first official council meeting. I will have to second or third the comments that you made about the Wendell Woods property. Yes, it was a challenge for a lot of us based on what we heard during our campaign for 3 or 3.5 months. And I can't tell you how proud I am to be part of a unanimous vote to move forward with that project. Really glad of where we've come from where we were a couple of months ago on that project. And I think it'll be really beneficial for the city, and it'll be beneficial for the family that is selling that property. So thank you, gentlemen, and for everyone else that was involved in that project as well. Thank you for organizing Service Saturdays. That is a great opportunity for us as a community to come together. Every community needs that. We need something to hang our hats on that brings us together as a TGK family, and I'm really glad that you've put that together. I can't wait to serve the first time. That'd be great. Thank you, first responders, for all the work that you do, for the time, the thankless time that you serve our city. We appreciate it, keeping us safe. And for city staff, clearing our roads, keeping us safe out there as well, and letting the kids have some fun with it as well this past weekend. I'm sure they'll do more of the same. and congratulations to Judge Stinson.
Thank you, Scott. Mr. Heislip.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For those of you that are not aware, last Sunday was Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So I want to give my thanks to the TAK Police Department for everything they do for our city every day. It can be a thankless job at times, but just know we appreciate everything you do. In regards to the Wendell Woods, I think we made a great decision for the city. I'm proud of the way it came together. We got a lot of feedback and concerns from some residents. We took that feedback. The developers, Shea Homes, took the feedback and were able to incorporate it into a minor amendment that really put a lot of minds at ease, and got it back to the Planning Commission to get their full input, and then we had a unanimous vote. So I'm just thankful for you guys pushing that forward and having that done now. And of course, finally, thank you to the city staff for everything you did this weekend with the snow. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom. I'd like to start off by saying, guys, I'm really proud of the Wendell Woods project. I think that is, it's going to be a development that all of us can be proud of, including the folks that live around it. We got their input, we got your input, we got the city's input. Everybody had a hand in this, and it came together nicely. Something to be so ugly to start with, as far as just people, what they want, what they don't want, and everything. Just the discussions went back and forth. For it to come out like this, I think it's a home run. So I thank everybody's work on that. Again, like to reiterate what the guys were saying. First responders, appreciate you guys and your service that you provide this community. I know we had a crazy weekend, to say the least, but we know that you are up to the challenge, and we appreciate you being there. Chief, I'm sorry, but you were not there when I dropped off cupcakes to everybody at the station, and so consequently, you didn't get any cupcakes. But if anybody would like to have some cupcakes at the station, just give me a head count, and we can make it up so that everybody feels the cupcakes. But anyway, yeah, great job, guys. Appreciate the utilities department this weekend. Everybody stepping up and doing what they needed to do to get it done. Hats off to everyone working together this weekend. So with that said, next on the agenda is an executive session to get legal advice as it pertains to the food and beverage license agreement with the Shore Club and discussion of contractual matters with York County related to the boarding and lodging of prisoners at the Moss Justice Center and recreation funding. I will entertain a motion.
Motion to enter executive session.
I have a motion by
Second.
Ryan. I have a second by Gus. I call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. We are now in executive session. After a 5-minute recess in order to clear the room,